The other issue we'll touch on are some of the veterans' benefits. Specific, again, it gets back to this issue of pre-1947 births. We have a couple of people that were born out of wedlock prior to 1947, specific to do with some of the war bride children. Now, if they were born out of wedlock, they were considered to be property of their mothers. Being their mothers at the time weren't considered to be Canadian citizens, even though the government of Canada had said they were. The government today is saying they really weren't Canadian citizens, so therefore they were property of their foreign mothers. And the government of Canada is now violating the Supreme Court of Canada in a case called Leon Bachai versus the Queen in 1954. And it was based on the legitimization acts of all the different provinces that said if your parents subsequently marry, your birth is legitimized. So what we have now is a government that's denying people citizenship based on whether you're born in or out of wedlock. So we do have some children of veterans in World War II who are currently being denied citizenship. And once again, Canada and this government is too good of a country to be doing this to their own people. We now have another problem where Canadians are not always aware of the fact that they could have a problem with children born abroad being stateless, and that gets into the second generation born abroad issue. It also gets into an equality of rights issue where immigrant Canadians, pretty much for the most part except one small little group, are deemed to be born in Canada. Well, if we can do that because an immigrant has stayed in Canada for 3 years, we should be able to do that for first-generation born-abroad Canadians who've lived more than 3 years of their life in Canada. So there now are inequities where immigrant Canadians could actually have more rights than Canadian-born citizens, and thus the Canadian-born citizens could find their children are stateless, and we have citizenship problems going forward. Once again, easy to correct as long as you have a willing government.